Hello, everyone, and welcome to this lovely edition, or not lovely, but more Christmassy, educational. That's what what's the word I was looking for? Educational edition of the Instant Nobodies podcast. I'm Freddie.
Everybody just tuned out.
I know. Educational. No.
No, it's edutainment.
Edutainment.
There you go. It's like wrestling, but for your ears.
That's sports entertainment.
Oh, well, and this is just edutainment.
But who are we?
So,
Yes.
I don't know. Who are you?
I'm Dale, and this horse skull means that I can drink all your booze.
Well, I guess then I'm Pete, and everything we know about Christmas is just stolen from something else.
And I'm Freddie, and I am your friendly neighborhood Rent-A-Krampus. Let's get into the podcast.
Bum 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 bum.
Christmas is awesome. Christmas is rad. Time to remember all the good things we have.
All right. Oh, there we go. Dale, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, so we're talking about some weird-ass Christmas shit, such as Krampus, and other weird myths.
I'm sure most people at this point know at least the idea of a Krampus is.
Yeah.
But more importantly, all comes back to one fat man, Santa Claus. Old
Yes.
Kris Kringle.
Ah, yes, patron saint of the whores.
Also, I'm surprised that Kris Kringle isn't like... It sounds like a Marvel character.
It kind of does.
Kris Kringle with the powers of Christmas.
Don't give them
I mean,
ideas.
I'm pretty sure he's an official DC character, though.
Yeah, probably. He's
Wouldn't be
definitely
surprised.
shown up somewhere. But yeah, patron saint of horrors. Do you know where that story actually comes from?
I'm going to find out.
Yep, there was a story of old Saint Nicholas traveling around, and of course there was this was back in the days where when your daughter gets married off, you also have to give a bunch of money to the husband.
Okay.
Because dowries, that's a weird practice.
Because they're just trying to bribe you to take their daughter off their hands.
Please just take my daughter. Here's a cow as well. But yeah, there was a man who had 3 daughters, and he could not afford a dowry, so he was going to have to force his daughters to be prostitutes in order to make ends meet. Because they couldn't have a job elsewhere, I guess. And yeah, Saint Nicholas.
There wasn't a Starbucks in the area.
Yeah, Saint Nicholas dropped by 3 nights in a row, dropping off bags of gold, so that instead of the women selling their bodies, they could just be sold normally. Yeah, it's really fucked up when you think about it.
They can be sold like normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's Saint Nick's other miracle he performed, where he resurrected 3 boys who were murdered and pickled in brine.
Man.
Jesus.
Yeah, some dude killed like 3 kids.
No, you would think it was Jesus.
Yeah, well,
No,
yeah.
yeah.
Jesus couldn't even do that.
He can only respawn himself once.
Well, didn't he also resurrect Lazarus?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He did.
What a loser!
Yeah.
Only resurrected one person.
And himself.
Yeah,
It was a slow respawn rate, though.
Yeah.
but yeah, there's like other miracles he did, but those are the 2 that he's most known for.
I can't get over the whole pickling and...
Yeah, well, they were going. He was a butcher, killed 3 kids, and he pickled them in brine because he was going to sell them as pork during a famine.
Oh.
And Saint Nick was like, "Heroes never die," and resurrected all 3 of them, just like Mercy.
Oh my god.
So, what do you got, Freddy, for a story?
well, I was going to add into the St. Nicholas thing. He's Dutch, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
And he's also called Sinterklaas.
Yes, Sinterklaas.
And he rides a horse named Amerigo.
Yeah. America.
I didn't... Yeah, we're number 1. But yeah, he rides a horse named Amerigo, and apparently children are encouraged to leave carrots out for the horse. And that's much about his information I was able to get because I was busy. Sorry.
I actually did come across an interesting essentially conspiracy theory. There's a lot of conspiracy theories connecting Santa to Satan, and not just because it's an anagram. Like Santa comes from the Spanish word for sanctified, and there's like some quote from the Bible where like Satan said he would hide among us as the sanctified, and so Santa's actually Satan. And like a bunch of other crazy.
Spoiler alert: Santa's not real.
And a bunch of other crazy. What? Fuck.
I know.
Who've been mailing this whole time?
We gotta put a spoiler tag on this podcast now.
That's just gonna be the name of the episode. Spoilers. Just so you know, Santa's not real.
It's a really terrible title.
SpoilerCast.
But there's also because the horse that Santa rode on was white, and in the Book of Revelations, the Antichrist rides on a white horse as well.
Suspicious.
Indeed. Also known as Conquest back then.
It's not like there are white horses just in general out in the world.
Yeah,
no,
we all know
that's too
that.
Weird.
We all know that Santa's just a ripoff of Odin in the Wild Hunt.
Speaking of the whole Santa Satan thing, kind of off topic, but I saw a trailer for a sci-fi original movie. I can't remember the name, but it's about how Satan's coming to like get this girl because when she was little, instead of writing Santa a Christmas list, she wrote Satan a Christmas list.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I
but
love
it's
it.
shot like a Hallmark movie.
I love that. I saw that.
That's incredible.
I can't remember the name. Give me a second to look it up.
While you look that up, Pete, what's a Crimbus story you got for us?
A Crimbus story? Well, I know that around this time, like back in the days of Rome, they celebrated Saturnalia, which is just the celebration of their agriculture god Saturn, which was just a big grand old drunk fest that landed that was like around, I think they said it was from like around the 17th to the 23rd. So we could still celebrate this.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Up until tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's the last day, so get your shit and start drinking, because we gotta celebrate the god of agriculture.
I found it. It's Letter to Satan Claus.
Excellent.
Is that what it's called?
Yes. I forget when it was supposed to air, but I need to find this. I only saw the trailer.
That's awesome. I love that. That's such a great title. Such a great title. Such a great premise. I love it. Never stop being you, sci-fi original movies.
Because then what are you gonna watch? You love those freaking B-list movies.
Oh, they're so good.
Speaking of B-list movies and drinking copious amounts of alcohol, my personal favorite Christmas pastime is the wassailing tradition of Mari Lwyd, aka Christmas Horse.
Christmas horse.
Yep, Christmas Horse, where people would go around with a horse skull draped in a oh god, what was it? Like a sackcloth, and they would go door to door. And basically, what would happen is you would open your door, and there would be these drunk assholes with a horse skull and some spooky cloth, and they basically would challenge you to a poetry contest. And if you could not best them, then they were allowed to come into your house and eat a bunch of your food and drink your alcohol.
That's amazing.
That sounds pretty interesting. It's like, that's almost along the lines of if someone came to your house, knocked on your door, and was just like, freestyle rap me, bro.
That's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people compare it to, like, it's essentially like someone shows up at your house, challenges you to a rap battle for possession of your alcohol.
I feel like just being caught off guard like that is just
I feel like we found a new MagFest tradition.
Oh my god, we're gonna knock on people's room doors and be like, I challenge you to a rap battle, bitch.
But yeah, it's a thing that like still happens today.
That's awesome.
That's great. I love that.
Like that's actually sounds pretty similar to like a lot of people in like I'm sure we all have heard of Yule, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you know where that like started? It was it kind of like, it's as far as people can tell, like, because a lot is speculated because it's like from a long time ago. This is like that, like over 1,000-year-old tradition. But is like kind of believed to be starting in Northern Europe and celebrated by like Germany and like early German paganism and stuff like that too. It was once again another drunk fest that people would just like be super belligerent and stuff. And another, like, Dale, your story about like going to people's houses and like challenging was a little different, because they would just go out to people's houses and be like, hey, just give us your food and drinks, otherwise we're gonna beat the shit out of you. And they would essentially like people would go running through the streets drunk and like name a homeless man king for the night, and the king would like make the rules, and they would just pretty much go from like house to house of like the rich people and be like, give us some good shit.
This is King Hobo, give him everything.
Yeah, we're just gonna beat the shit out of you. Like, so it's like, without the challenge, it's more of a just give. There's no way out of this. Even if you were to spit some awesome bars at us, we'll just get angry.
Yeah, I love all those crazy fucking like drunk ass things like wassailing, where it's just, the idea was like, the apple harvest is soon, but we gotta scare away the ghosts. How do we do that? Let's get fucking drunk as shit and party to make the ghosts go away. Yeah. And it's just like, I'm getting that so wrong, but it's not far off.
Yeah, I mean, we're just kind of like, we have a brief knowledge of Christmas.
Ghosts show up like, ooh, what the fuck are they all doing? I'm out of here.
Like, look, this is some fucked up shit. I'm out.
I hate partying. It's how I died.
I feel like that would be more of a reason to go back to it.
Yeah.
It's like, that guy was the sickest party of all time. I was so sick I fucking died from it.
Now that's a party.
Yeah. Listen, there's like, as a wise man once said, it's not really a party until somebody dies.
But speaking of Yule, have you heard the story of the Yule cat?
No. What is the Yule cat?
Cat is new to me.
This is a Icelandic tradition that still goes on today, where you'll warn children that if they don't get new clothes for Christmas, the Yule cat, which is a huge ferocious cat, will come and eat them. Huh. Because that's what the Yule cat does, is they eat people who do not get new clothes to wear before Christmas Eve.
So does this mean that the kids need to ask for it for Christmas and have someone give it to you, or do they have to make it?
This is scaring your children into going clothes shopping.
Oh my god.
They did it.
Need that these
Those
days.
bastards, they finally did it.
And basically the way it started off is actually really fucked up. It's the threat of being eaten by the Yule cat was used by farmers as an incentive for their workers to finish processing the autumn wool before Christmas, because the reward would be new clothes. So it was basically, hey, if you work overtime, I'll give you this shirt so that a fucking mythical cat doesn't eat you.
I would like to think that, there would be like 3 guys who would just be shitting their pants, like processing wool, and there's that one guy who's just like, I don't give a fuck.
And then
So
that guy,
let the damn thing take me. I'm done.
And then the next day, that guy ends up dead.
the owner murdered him.
Just
as an example.
Also, another set of things from Iceland is the Yule cat was the pet of a giantess named Grilla, who is this horrible, man-eating, horrible hag of a woman that killed people and whatnot. And they had children, not the cat and her, but her and her husband. And these are called the Yule Kids. And they go around doing the most frustratingly mundane annoyances. Like, for instance, there's one named Door Slammer, that's the translation, who just slams doors in the middle of the night to wake people up.
What an asshole.
There's one that just harasses sheep. There's one that's just the saddest. His translation is stubby. He's abnormally short, and he steals pans so that he can eat the crust left on them.
Oh, that's like the most depressing one.
Yeah.
There's one that steals sausages from your plate while they're being smoked. There's one that just peeps through your window looking for things to steal.
But doesn't. He just looks.
Yeah, and
He dreams that one day he'll be brave enough to steal from your house.
this is my favorite doorway sniffer. Has an abnormally large nose and an acute sense of smell, which he uses to locate leaf bread.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's it. I guess he steals it too, but
I guess, yeah.
but yeah, they all show up on they basically show up starting December 12th, and they each arrive and leave on a different day.
Okay.
So, like, the first one shows up on December 12th and leaves on the 25th, and then the second one shows up on the 13th, leaves on the 26th. And,
Like a horrible 12 days of Christmas.
yeah. But, like,
A horrible
just
mood,
really
just annoying.
inconvenient.
Yeah.
There's, like, one that just follows children around and steals their candles.
Oh, no, not their candles.
Yeah.
Listen, candles were probably a commodity back then.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, no, it's
Really.
because back then they were made out of tallow and were edible.
Oh. Didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yep. So,
Damn.
what else do you guys got?
I don't know whether they could top that, but about the Belschnickel.
Belschnickel.
What's that?
God bless you.
It's I believe it was it's a Dutch figure, crotchety old man, fur-clad Christmas gift bringer from the Palatine region of southwestern Germany, and it was kept alive in the Pennsylvania Dutch communities. He's basically, just another gift giver with he wears a lot of raggedy furs and sometimes has a mask with a long tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he comes and what was it? He beats naughty children. But if you're good, he has a pocket full of cakes, candies, and nuts.
Oh.
But if you eat them too quickly, like in front of him, he'll beat you.
Oh.
I mean, that's just manners.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do that too.
But that's also something else where the people would come through dressed as Belschnickel and like scare children to be good. And they would actually, throw candy and stuff on the floor and watch the kids, and they'd do nothing until he left. Because they were just, too afraid of being beaten. Which makes you think
Go ahead.
how these parents were like, yeah, that seems totally fine. Let's let this random dressed man into our house and just beat our kids with a switch or something.
It was a different time back then.
I guess so.
It's a much more horrible time.
Yeah. The only reason I know the Belschnickel, though, is probably the way anyone else knows about him, because there was an episode of The Office that featured Dwight dressed as the Belschnickel.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that one.
And he came in just like, I think they were trying to do a Christmas party, and then Jim was like, yes, let's do Dwight's thing, his Bell's Christmas. And then Dwight goes home, gets his Belschnickel costume, comes back, and it starts like smacking people with switches.
God, yeah, I remember that.
But that's the only way I knew about him.
I forgot how weird. I forgot how German he gets at times.
Oh yeah, which is great because they're in that part of Pennsylvania where they can have him be like that weird German type of guy.
Speaking of German people who did horrible things to children, have you
I don't
heard
like
the
I don't like the
story?
segue.
Have you ever heard the story?
Quite the way.
Oh, don't worry. It also involves the Catholic Church.
Oh,
God damn it.
yay, the Catholic Church.
Oh no, it's the Catholic Church. Yeah, the story of Hans Trapp.
No.
Hans Trapp was a horrible man from France who lived a life of lawlessness and debauchery, like anyone should. He was a greedy land baron. He would bully people into selling properties to him for cheap. And he also worshipped Satan. And used black magic and occult rituals to gain wealth and hold power over people.
Damn.
And then the Catholic Church found out, and they were like, get out of here. And they banished him to Germany.
I'm surprised they didn't just kill him.
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. God will take care of that. Yeah, so he was ostracized by his local people when he got back. His land and money were confiscated, and he was left penniless, so he was forced into exile in the forest of Germany. Specifically, Bavaria. And he built a little ramshackle shack, and he sat around brooding all day, plotting his revenge. And he decided the best way to do that would be to eat human flesh.
Because, that's what you do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
That's the next logical step.
So he wrote... Oh, no. The next logical step is roaming the countryside disguised as a scarecrow. And he would just hang out on the side of the road. And one day, a fat little German 10-year-old boy in lederhosen, Uter, showed up, eating chocolate, making his way through the woods, and Hans, using meat hooks for weapons, just picked him right up by his lederhosen.
Oh.
And killed him. And then brought him back to his shack, began to cook him, and just as he was about to take that first bite, God struck him down because eating the child was going too far.
Not when he killed him.
Yeah, and
God was like, I've seen this happen a lot. Wait a minute, what's he doing?
I've made people do this. It's fine.
Yeah. What? He's gonna eat it.
He's like, hold on a second.
That's fucked up. Yeah, so a bolt of lightning blasted down from the sky, striking him dead. And thus came an end to the crimes of Hans Trapp. But now every Christmas his ghost, I guess, wanders the countryside looking for children to eat. So
that's quite a story.
The best part about this story is that it's half based on a true person.
Okay.
There was a shitty land baron that was excommunicated by the Catholic Church in that area. As for the rest of the story, that's just things that people said about him after he was excommunicated.
Yeah.
So let this be a lesson to all you landlords out there. Treat your tenants nicely, because if you don't, they'll make up stories about you eating children.
And then the church will be at your door, and
then
you don't want that for multiple reasons.
So true.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, but going back to some grand old Christmas history from America. Did you guys know that for a long time Christmas was illegal in America?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
I've heard it. I don't know the story.
So here's the thing: when stuck up, Christians came to America, and I say that as I also am a Catholic, so I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, I like to think of myself as a more fun-loving Catholic. Anyway, stuck up ones,
getting up with your pagan
Christians,
roots.
Catholics. They when they came here for quote unquote freedoms, they didn't want to have a Christian country to celebrate Christmas because, as I stated before, I didn't state before, Christmas was a big old debauchery session that based on what we've been talking about, people getting drunk, going to people's houses and causing devastation, challenging you to rap battles, all that great stuff. They didn't like that. So many places in America, if you were to show signs of celebrating Christmas, you would be issued fines. And it was just and because of that, the tradition of Christmas was just pretty much lost for a long time. Did I write anything down specifically about that? It was just like
I love the idea of like.
it wasn't. It's just America was like made it illegal.
I love the idea of like bootleggers like back in those like during Prohibition, whereas people just like secretly running booze around everywhere. It's just like people secretly selling Christmas ornaments out of like back alleys.
It's that Aquabats
like,
Christmas episode.
I was about to say it's just like the Aquabat special.
Exactly.
Oh my god! What if that's just like a retelling? Just
it could be. I didn't even
modernized?
think of that.
Like a bunch of a bunch of Christians just bust down the door to a bar where people are celebrating Christmas. The bartender hits a switch, and everything flips around. It's just a bunch of drunk people, and like, nope, just good old drunk people not celebrating Christmas.
It's like everything turns around. It's just a cross on the wall.
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing.
And the
else.
Christians are like, all right. We could have sworn we heard some tinsel being moved around.
We heard some holly jolly in here.
But yeah, it was. So it wasn't until like around the 1900s, I think it was, or the 1800s. No, it was like, yeah, it was around the. It was 19th century. It was so around the 19th century, which is the 1800s, because that's how this works. Like, you know, when America started letting a lot of immigrants in, like that is when Christmas started to take off again.
Exploded.
Because the whole thing is a lot of people are coming here from other countries to try and find a better life, and they brought their traditions. And the whole thing is like, you know, by that time, like lots of traditions from like Yule or whatever, you know, rap battles they learned back in the day was brought over to America, and it kind of blended together.
Yeah.
Into what we now know as Christmas, with the whole like Christmas trees, like, and everything, and like, you know, hey, lights on tinsel on your trees, whatever. But there wasn't actually a definitive Santa Claus at the time, and you know who set that up?
Oh, I have this written down. Where is his name?
Oh,
maybe I didn't write down his name. I'm an idiot.
Well, actually, it may have been a specific person, but I was gonna reference a specific company that pretty much
that's
solidified.
not true.
Oh, is it not?
It's not.
Oh,
I know you're talking about Coca-Cola.
Educate me, Freddie.
Coca-Cola did not use the colors from their logos on Santa. They were just very happy that it was convenient. He was the same exact color scheme. That's really what it was.
Oh,
and they used his image to sell more soda in the winter.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, I didn't say they made it.
Oh, okay, because a lot of people usually think...
No,
that, okay.
I didn't say they... No, I'm not saying they made it. I'm saying they popularized it.
Oh, okay, then you're
like, the
totally
whole...
right.
Like I said, there wasn't no definite Santa Claus back in the day.
Well, it was 1823 with a visit from St. Nick that really gave him just kind of the suit... The reindeer.
It was that poem that really solidified the imagery.
Yeah, the visit from St. Nick the night before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then Coca-Cola took that and ran with it.
Yeah.
And then after that is what Santa Claus was for America. We're not speaking for the rest of the countries, because I've seen some pretty interesting photos of what their like idea of Christmas, St. Nick, Kris Kringle, Sinterklaas, any version of the Jolly Fat Man or the not Jolly Fat Man. There's a whole bunch. He doesn't even have to be fat. The Vengeful. There's a lot of different like figureheads for Christmas.
Yeah.
There's so
or
much
whatever
vengeance.
else you want to celebrate.
There's so much vengeance to go around on Christmas.
There is.
I mean, if you don't have vengeance on Christmas, what is Christmas all about?
I mean, that's why in Festivus it's straight out with it. Defeats of strength and the airing of grievances.
But yeah, speaking of vengeance, we should get to the best Christmas tale. The tale of Krampus.
Oh, yes. You wanna? I don't really know much about the Krampus other than the throwing kids in bags and beating them.
So Krampus is essentially the devil who would travel around with Saint Nick around Christmas. Saint Nick being one of the three good December men. The other two are Santa Claus and Dead Moraz. Whoever that is.
Mm-hmm.
He's not as popular, so we kind of forget about him.
It's Russian Santa.
So he's just drunk.
He's just giving out vodka.
Yeah. Hey, I'm down. But yeah, Krampus is essentially this horrible, horned beast of a man that travels around with Saint Nick, who also rewards good children with modest gifts of like oranges, dried fruit, walnuts, chocolate. And in some tellings, he rewards bad children with birch rods. Because I guess that's a bad thing to get.
And what the fuck are you gonna do with a rod?
Shove it up your ass, that's what.
Actually, yeah, because apparently birch has like a lot of phallic significance. Oh yeah, birch trees. Yeah,
that makes sense then.
Yeah, he's a creepy man with horns. He has one normal foot and one cloven hoof. Typically, he also has a tail. Occasionally, he's like hairy. And yeah, there's a lot of tales of him going around. Yeah, some interpretations, he takes birch branches and swats bad children with them. Another, he carries around a tub with him everywhere he goes and drowns children in it.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Some he drags the children off to hell. Other ones he drowns or eats. Yeah, and then of course there's the most classic one of him stuffing children into a bag and leaving. But yeah, it became this...
to do who knows what.
Yeah, most likely to eat them, or just toss them in hell.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wanna keep the theme and pretend that he's just gonna eat them.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But
Eat children.
But it became this... It just ended up becoming this whole other thing. Like Freddy said in the intro, rent a Krampus. That was a thing that you could actually do as a job back then. You would hang out in the town square around winter solstice, dressed as Krampus, and parents would hire you to scare the shit out of their children into being good. And of course, there was like also greeting cards and stuff. A lot of depictions of Krampus with very heavy sexual overtones.
Oh yeah, sexy Krampus.
Particularly him chasing around buxom women.
Nice.
Yeah. And of course,
he's got
there's
the life.
Yeah, his dude just has it all. Gets to scare children. He gets to give out candy to good children. He might be Satan.
Gets his own night.
Yeah.
On the December 5th.
Yeah, Krampusnacht, is it?
Krampusnacht, yeah.
Which, fun fact, do you know who really did not enjoy that holiday?
The Catholic or the Christians, I'm assuming.
No, the Nazis.
What?
Yeah,
the Nazis love horrible things.
During the Nazi regime, they banned the celebration of Krampusnacht because they thought it made them look bad.
Oh, because that's what made them look bad. Not the genocide of people, not the just trying to take over the world. It's just, this holiday just makes us look bad. It doesn't, on paper it seems fun, but when you get there, people are going to start asking questions.
But yeah, that is.
Didn't they outlaw all religion though, or am I thinking
no,
occupied
they didn't.
Italy?
No,
because they were super into Norse mythology.
Oh, I know they were doing crazy alchemy and.
They were trying to find. They had a supernatural division.
Yeah. Man, that's a story for another time.
It's a story for another podcast.
We could. There's a lot to dig into there.
One. Yeah,
there's a little too much to dig into, if you ask me.
True.
Yeah. I did a little more research on Krampus. I don't know how true this stuff is though, because I found on one or two sites that I was on about the origins of Krampus.
I mean, if it's on the internet, it's got to be true.
Yeah, it's got to be true. Where was it? Some people say the earliest origins from Krampus could be coming from a a German... Hold on, there's so much stuff I wrote down, I just can't find it. Here we go. German goddess Perkta.
Perkta?
Yeah.
Hardly know.
Boo.
I'll see myself out.
Who would both reward and punish children as well. She would leave a silver coin in the shoes of good children, naughty children. She would slash open their guts, put straw and pebbles in them, and sew it back up.
Oh my god!
Sorry, what did the good kids get?
A coin and a shoe. A silver coin.
Well, then.
Is there a way to opt out of this?
Yeah, can I unsubscribe?
But either she would show up as like a beautiful goddess or like the most horrible looking hag, depending, I think it was. She also had henchmen called the Perkton, which were like evil little demons. And where was it? There you go. In the 1600s, the church outlawed Perkta, which caused the people to create a new creature called the Krampus, who served Santa.
Aha.
Originally, the Krampus referred to a race of creatures. The church still saw it heathenism and assimilated into their beliefs. And Santa symbolized the good, Krampus the evil.
Aha.
Hell yeah.
And then, of course, St. Nicholas Day is the 6th, so Krampusnacht is December 5th.
So,
I love the idea of
out of religious convenienceness.
You may have outlawed our god gift giver thing, but we'll just make a new one. And they're like, damn, nothing in the
With
rule books.
blackjack and hookers.
and the Catholic Church is just like, damn, nothing says they can't do that.
Yeah, and we
Foiled
already used our one ban for, and that's all we got. They only gave us the power to ban one evil idol. We don't have the power to get rid of two.
Oh boy, the Catholic Church. Anyway.
I apologize on behalf of my people for the things that we have done.
Anyway.
I do want. I got some more fun stuff about the religion just taking over all the holidays, which is which is why Christmas is just everything stolen from other places.
Yeah.
Going back to Yule, it was I think around the 5th century they said that during Drunk Fest the Christian I think it was Christianity or Catholicism, I can't remember which one specifically. Like they did not like the fact that people would just like around this time get drunk and rowdy, and they try to get rid of it, and didn't work because people fucking love getting shithoused in the woods apparently and dancing around a campfire all night. And that's when they were like, listen, this is now about Jesus. Like, this is probably around the time that he was born, and this celebration that you're all doing is about Jesus. To which everyone responded pretty much with, we don't care. We're just going to keep partying. If that's what you want to tell everybody, then go ahead.
Look, just because you guys don't know how to have fun doesn't mean we don't.
Yeah. But that's pretty much why, like, they're just like, oh, yeah, Jesus was born around December 25th, which is not true.
No, not at all.
Because December 25th is like around, like one of the biggest, like was one of the biggest like times to party.
Oh yeah,
for
Saturday.
that.
Yeah, because it was also the and it was also the celebration of the birth of the sun god Mithra.
Oh, the sun god. I'm pretty sure that was what I was talking. I think that was also that probably also came from the Saturnalia.
Yeah, I think it was like the same group of people.
Yeah, from back in Rome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. But
it was also. I think that one was considered the holiest day of the year. It was December 25th.
Yeah, like the whole thing is like it's all just
it was
like
a big party leading up to it, and then it's like holy day.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
guess that was the day for hangovers.
Like these holidays were all like, if you go back so far, everybody just constantly changed the reason they celebrated it.
Mm-hmm.
Like as far as we can tell, it probably started there, Freddie, where the celebration of the birth of the sun god or whatever, and which was also to sell, like, then they like that was. Actually, no, that was still Yule, actually. I think they were to celebrate the sun god. Yes, okay, I did write that down.
Okay.
It was...
Yeah,
it was... Yeah, it was it was a 12-day event where they would celebrate the birth of the sun for Yule. But the whole thing is like before that, Saturnalia was like the similar thing, but it was for the god of agriculture. So it's like if you think about it, the further back you go, the more it changes. The only thing I really get from this is that December 25th is just a really good day to party.
Yeah. Well, part of it, in defense of the whole, like, hey, let's just move every holiday to one day, do you have any idea how many people, how inconsistent things would be if the month of December had all of those different holidays being celebrated at different times? Nothing would get done.
You're right.
Because it would just be like, oh, well, it's the first week of December, so I got Krampusnacht, and then next week is the beginning of Saturnalia, and then after that, the next week I'm also off because... because
I'm
celebrating
of
this. Yeah, and it's just a complete fucking mess. So a lot of it was like, hey, you should also be celebrating our religion. Part of it was also like, guys, can we just agree on one time of the month to get smashed?
Yeah. December was a busy month to get fucked.
Also, that's also February because of Valentine's Day. You said get fucked.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I got
what?
it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand now. I was really confused.
But I love the idea of before you're talking about people like partying in the woods and like, oh, just so you know, you're also celebrating Jesus' birthday. I just imagine everyone just was like, oh, and they all turn off the music and just go home. Like,
I mean, if you did that now, that's probably what would happen. Back then, they didn't care.
yeah, it's the idea of like your parents are liking the thing you like, so now it's lame. Just like, hey, so you guys know, you're celebrating Jesus' birthday. Oh, damn it, that's so lame now.
Wasn't this before, like, I don't know if like it was before like it was like super popular. So people imagine, if you will, you are celebrating some sort of crazy awesome party, like let's just say in the middle of April for posterity's sake. And then a bunch of Scientologists come out of nowhere and they tell you, we're now celebrating this because of Ron Hubbard. And everyone's like, okay, you go do that. We're just going to keep partying. That's essentially what happened.
Yeah. More or less. I mean, I take a bit of umbrage comparing Christianity to Scientology. I mean,
I'm not saying they're the same or similar. One is more crazy than the other, in my opinion.
But which one?
But which, you be the judge. But what I'm trying to say is, that's if it was to happen today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how many people, I don't know, like, I could probably look it up. I'm too goddamn lazy. How many people celebrated, Jesus back in the day, in the 5th century, when they're like, hey, Jesus. People like, okay, whatever, crazy cultist.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they used to feed those people to lions.
Yeah.
I know. I don't actually know the timeline of human history very well.
Oh, that just reminded me of a shirt that I once saw.
Oh?
It says, I heart Roman lions.
It's a very specific shirt.
That is very...
That's why it jogged in my memory.
It's like, I remember a shirt once.
Oh, God, it just reminds me of...
So I almost bought it, that was why.
Oh, God, I think it was one of those Monty Python movies. I can't remember which one it was. I want to say it was Life of Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that a stand-up comedian? A Roman stand-up comedian. He's like, man, have you guys heard of these Christians? They're so poor. And everyone's like, how poor are they? And they're like, they're so poor they can only afford one god.
Classic.
Yeah.
Now I'm going crazy because I feel like that wasn't a Monty Python movie.
Listen, it's fine.
Might have been. I haven't seen it in a while.
No one here can correct you.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm
as far as we
uncorrect
know, it's the truth.
That means that you're right.
for now.
Yeah.
So anyone got any other stories to wind us down? Or
well, to wind us down, I figured we just talk about Santa Claus once more. And where does he live?
The center of the earth. Right?
With the mole men, okay.
Yeah.
The lava monsters.
And the lizard people.
Yeah, people don't know Santa's actually a lizard man.
Oh, is he?
Like he's part of the Illuminati.
I knew it.
Santa confirmed Illuminati.
I'm pretty sure you can see him if you fold the dollar bill properly.
I wish that was true, but no one ever tried.
No, because there is actually debates on where Santa lives, is the thing.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I mean, there is quote unquote an official place where he lives in the Netherlands.
Yes, Lapland.
Yeah.
It's in Finland.
The only reason I know that is because of Viva La Bam.
Yep. Where the fuck is
and
Santa?
And if anybody here has listened to our MTV podcast, that is the show that I absolutely adore.
Yep, so I take it you've seen Where the Fuck is Santa Claus?
Yep. I have seen Where the Fuck is Santa Claus.
I love that. But no, there's this, the actual North Pole is where he's supposed to be. Then the true magnetic north, which keeps shifting.
Yeah, it's never the same.
The United States say he's in North Pole, Alaska.
Fuck that.
That's so dumb.
There's
Canada,
nothing in Alaska.
Canada gave him citizenship because he's in one of their provinces, and they gave him his own zip code.
I would believe that because Canada goes pretty far north.
Yeah. But they gave him his own zip code, which is I forgot to write it down, H0H0H0.
All right, let's get in a car and drive there.
Actually, yeah, it wasn't until 1863 that the idea that he's at the North Pole became a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because of Thomas Nast.
Yeah.
Whoever that is.
I was about to say, you making people up again, Dale?
Yeah. It's more of a real name than Tig Notaro.
Thomas Nasty.
Thomas Nasty. I like to think
That's
that he
what
was
the ladies
actually
call him.
Yeah, I like to think he was a huge pervert. He just called himself Thomas Nasty. Also,
right.
in old poems, Santa Claus himself is referred to as an elf.
Yes, and
I've heard that as well.
Tiny reindeer. Not regular
yeah.
size ones, tiny. Because you're an elf, you don't need giant reindeer pulling you around.
He also used to have a reindeer called Dunder.
Did he work for a paper supply company?
No, he worked for the Dundercats.
Yeah, it was originally Dunder and Blixem, which were the old Dutch words for thunder and lightning.
Ooh.
Okay, makes sense.
But then it got changed to more German-sounding names.
Things are starting to add up with with Norse mythology and Yule and Christmas all being united.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing I could get into, but it'll take up the rest of the podcast, so people can just look it up the damn selves.
Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy, weird connect-the-dot conspiracy bullshit.
Yeah. All right, well, does anyone else throw anything in? Or we...
I can take one last look at my book of notes. I did say it. I didn't actually talk about it. When I was throwing out Madronicht.
Yes, that's
It was,
right.
Yeah, it was an event that was held on what is now Christmas Eve by Anglo-Saxon pagans, and it's not 100% known what it was done, but it was it's believed that it was a celebration from the German pagans where they would once again drink, celebrate, and occasionally sacrifice.
Oh.
Got nothing else to do in the really dark months, so...
Yeah, that's why
a lot of these things were invented, because it's just Nordic, Germanish places where there's just tons of darkness.
Yeah, it was apparently also it wasn't just that, it was also to apparently attest women to an altar for inscriptions, and it's they would just appear in sets of 3 or something, and they would all be celebrated, and it's not 100% known whether or not one of them would be sacrificed or if it was just something else would be sacrificed. There's not a lot of knowledge on it, but it was clearly celebrated on the eve of what is now Christmas.
Okay.
So we got 2 more days before we got to sacrifice somebody, guys.
I just love the idea of
Not it, by the way.
Not it.
Oh shit.
Dale, you drew the short end on this one. Unless you can get Terrell to show up before the podcast end.
All right, I'll agree to being sacrificed if you can beat me in a rap battle.
Oh shit, you're on.
I love the idea of like 2 Icelandic guys being like, "Well, the 4 hours of daylight are over. What do you want to do? I guess drink until the sun comes back.
Get drunk and dance by some goddamn pine trees."
Put on that Bjork album and let's go for it.
Bjork is also immortal, much like Santa, and she's been around since ancient Icelandic times. The year 1701.
Bjork's first album has just come out.
Setting Iceland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we learned a lot this podcast, or at least tried to.
Tried to learn.
I definitely learned a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did. I learned a little bit more about Krampus. You can't go wrong learning more about Krampus.
No. Especially since he's a very common figure now, at least in America.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
I mean, now that he has his own film.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing that we haven't learned is how to stop him.
One day we'll stop him. So anyway.
Well, I think that's about all the time we're going to have for today.
Yeah, I'm surprised we got this much out. I expected it to, even though it's a shorter podcast this week, I expected it to be shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I gotta go find somewhere to put this horse skull. So take us away, Freddie.
Well, this has been the Instant Nobodies podcast, wishing everybody here a Merry Yule, Merry Saturnalia, Merry Christmas, whatever you're celebrating. I just got a text I have been rented out for a Krampus engagement, so I have to get going. And we'll catch you next time.
Bye. What will we celebrate Christmas for next? How will we ever survive Krampus's next onslaught? And will 2021 be the year that Santa Claus finally retires? Find out next time on the podcast.